Namaskar to Swami Ishatmananda Maharaj and all of you friends. I'm very happy to see you here on a Friday evening at someplace else. So you already have made a very conscious choice and decision that tells a lot about your own desires and aspirations. It's indeed my privilege to be introducing Swamiji today. Swamiji came to Chicago from India only last year, I think end of February, beginning March. And in just little over 1 year, the accomplishments of Swamiji in the kind of matters related to spiritual, organizational, inspirational, traveling, it is phenomenal. I think I cannot tell you, if I have to start narrating everything, I think it will be a long time doing that. But first of all, Swamiji, as soon as Swamiji came, in about less than 6 months of time, he organized the concluding ceremony for Swami Vivekananda's 150th birth anniversary celebration in Chicago and in Ganges. For matters various regions, Vivekananda Vedanta Society, that was established not by Swami Vivekananda, but definitely by one of the Swamis of, sent from Belur Math in his name. And as you know, Swamiji never established a center in any city unless people of that city or place invited the monks or other people to come and start a tradition. That's the tradition of Ramakrishna Mission, of which Vedanta Society is part of. So, for some reasons, our society in Chicago was somewhat in a state of dormancy. Swamiji kind of revived it so quickly and so dynamically and brought it back to, I think, its earlier days of outreach activities, dynamic interactions with the devotees, friends, well-wishers. So that was a very remarkable achievement. Swamiji has said lots of things organizationally. Swamiji have improved. Swamiji came, before coming to Chicago, he had been at 2 places. You will be very surprised. Look at this. He was in Arunachal Pradesh, India. That's a place very hard to for lots of different regions. And then Swamiji started a new center in Andaman, Port Blair. Just imagine, Arunachal Pradesh, Port Blair, and so after that, Chicago. It's a very interesting kind of movement. But for a monk, the time and place really don't matter. And for Swami Vivekananda's monks, I think they just flow wherever they are needed, wherever they are sent. And I see in Swamiji, I think we all see in others things in our own life. I would say a little bit of all three: Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swami Vivekananda, all three. So I see Sri Ramakrishna's love and wisdom and focus, nothing that is, don't get involved in anything that is not really essential, Swami Vivekananda's dynamism, meeting with people one and all, and Holy Mother's kind of boundless love and infinite heart, which welcomed everyone. So if you have not been to Chicago Center of recently, I will really request you to please pay a visit to the temple there. It's in Homer Glen. If you look at on the map of a Google or whatever, you'll find it very easily. It's about 2 hours plus, 2 hours, 15 minutes drive from Champaign. It's a beautiful place. Now, I think in just only recently, now the basement also has been finished, so people can go there as family, and people can stay in the temple for their own personal retreats. You're most welcome to. You just have to get in touch with Swamiji or somebody in the temple. Swamiji also we used to have classes, but Swamiji has made a point to restart and stick to the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna class on Tuesdays, 7:30 to around 9ish. And lo and behold, Swamiji has made it, the whole thing is broadcast on web. So if you can't be to Chicago, I think Tuesdays, 7:30, you just log on to chicagovedanta.org. You see the streaming link, just follow it, and you can hear to the talk wherever you are. I myself do that because I can't go there every Tuesday. Also, his Sunday lectures, whenever Swamiji is in town, he is the speaker on Sunday typically. Sometimes he's traveling, somebody else. But typically he's there. That also is, streamed on the same place. So remember chicagovedanta.org. From there you get all the information, everything. So Tuesday 7:30 to 9ish, and Sunday 11 to 12. That's the two, Swamiji also started giving a talk, I think his third weekend one, in India Eternal at Laman Temple. That is just 5 miles from, Vedanta's Universal Temple. So these are the 3 permanent activities through which Swamiji is trying to meet, interact with peoples of all ages, generations, and aspirations. And besides all this, Swamiji is traveling continuously. The Chicago Center, along with the Ganges Center, hosts about 6 to 8 retreats every year. You are most welcome to participate in them. And as I said, we are so happy that this is Swamiji here already, second time in less than 1 year. Would like Swamiji to come swing by Urbana Champaign anytime. It fits into his itinerary and schedule. We are not too far away from Chicago, but I know that Swamiji is very busy. So, I'll request you to interact with Swamiji after the talk a little bit, and also through email, phone. Swamiji is accessible, to the max, so to say. You can reach him anytime you want to. I'm saying 2 o'clock in the night, please don't do that. But any normal hours, you can reach him by phone, email, whatever. Or if, So you'll find a very open-hearted, generous person with his time and energy. He just sits in the temple during the day. He's in the main temple with the office. Anybody can walk in and just talk to him. You don't have to make an appointment ahead of time. Only thing is just make sure he's in town. If it is traveling, of course, I think you will have a difficult time. So I'll say that it's a great privilege. And the topic is actually so, pertinent for a town like ours. Because lots of students, in particular, the idea of, importance of building character. You must have heard that say character is destiny. If the right character is there, the things have to fall in place. You don't have to guess what's going to happen. It is that powerful a force. And I remember Swami Vivekananda saying, he used to say that be and make. So first we have to be established in the values, principles, realities that we want to convey, communicate to others. Then only they will have any significance, any importance. So I cannot think of anyone more suited, anybody who is more in that state to talk to us, to share with us the values of things that really matter a great deal. Swamiji, without saying more, please come and share.
Namaste Yatirajaya Vivekananda Surai Satchit Sukha Sarupaya Swami Netapaharini. Our dear students and the professors and ladies, gentlemen, it's a beautiful topic that the boys or the students they have chosen, particularly this the Vedanta study group. And the 2 words are very important that we are finding here. One is character, another is personality. That till 19th century, the importance was given on the character. And we find that afterwards, after the Industrial Revolution, after the 2 world wars, the importance shifted to personality. And when Mr. Stephen R. Covey, the well-known American author, he is writing in his famous book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the success literature published in the US for the last 200 years had 2 different patterns, distinct patterns. First 150 years, emphasis was given on character building. By the way of honesty, integrity, sincerity, dedication, truthfulness, service, unselfishness, etc. But the last 50 years, emphasis has shifted on the aspect of how to prepare for interview, communication skill, public speaking, etc. So, according to the time, the things are changing. More than 100 years ago, our young monk Swami Vivekananda, he said, we want that education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, the intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand on one's own feet. So he is combining, 100 years before, he is combining both character and personality. Both are necessary. With one we cannot go. But the previous centuries we have seen that importance was given on the character. A man is very poor, but he is having a character. He used to get a lot of respect in the society. But nowadays things have changed. The Swami Vivekananda, he is bringing the two together, and character, personality. And I must congratulate you people for discussing this one. Now, what is character? Swami Vivekananda again defines the character in this way, is the aggregate of tendencies. I must repeat the word, aggregate of tendencies, sum total of the bent of mind. The Greek word, this character, it means to engrave one's mode of being in the world. It's engraving that mode. The human has two things, body and mind. Now when we talk about the character, we are not talking about the body, we are talking about the mind. And what is mind? Is only flow of thoughts. And how the thoughts are coming, what are the thoughts are coming? Whatever we see, whatever we hear, and whatever situation we are influenced by that, and the thought is coming like that. Suppose you see a movie and go to bed, and in that dream also, and when you are half awake state in that sleep, there also you are finding those thoughts are coming. So what we see and hear and touch, all the senses, that is coming in our mind. The mind is a flow of thought. So suppose we think something positive, something good, something inspiring, then slowly our character is also formed. That's because Swami Vivekananda is telling that what we are thinking, that has made us. What we are is our thought. And every thought that we think bears an impression on the mind star. What we are is determined by the sum total of these impressions. Every man's character is determined by the sum total of these impressions. If good impressions prevail, the character becomes good. If bad, it becomes bad. So that is the character. How the character is formed? By this way. Family matters. Neighborhood matters. Education and the educational institutions matters. And all the environment, particularly the place that where we are living, that matters. So that is the character. Here you are in this university. Are you directly involved with the politics? Any one of you, the students? No. Are you? No. But you go to India, everyone is involved in the politics, and they think that the students should be in the politics. And you cannot avoid it. Wherever you go, but particularly I have seen in the eastern India, the Bihar, the West Bengal, Assam, and all those places, all the students are involved in politics. Why? Environment. And the people who are growing up in that situation, their character is like that. Once, I think last time, I don't know whether I said this or not, I was thinking that I will make the gate in our Arunachal ashram is a big one, and there in one place I will write welcome and thank you in their own dialect. When I asked that gentleman who is the only educated person in that community, I told what it would be in your dialect, welcome. Then after scratching his head, he said, Swamiji, I am sorry, we don't have any word like welcome because whoever came, we killed. the tribal people, they never believed anyone coming from outside. Whoever is coming, because of the narrowness of thought and because of this ignorance about the external world, outside world, they used to think that whoever is coming is an enemy, so kill them. And is there no question of telling thank you? Whom to say thank you? So those two words are totally absent in that dialect. So that is the way a human is growing. And that person, if he is coming out, then what will happen? It is so very difficult to. So one young lady came to me. He was studying in the grade 3 or something like that. As an orphan, a small little girl. Then I sent her to one ashrama run by the nuns. I told that Mataji, can you please give some education to this young lady? And she was slowly growing up. Then when she crossed that class 10, I told send her somewhere outside. And she was sent to Madras. She graduated from that Madras, and then now she is studying in Gujarat, Baroda, in the university. So her way of talking, behaving, thinking are totally different than his own. Why? Because she has got the education. That's why Swami Vivekananda was giving a lot of stress on the education, proper education, expansion of mind, thought, and behavior. Here you are living all together. So that is very important. That they say, if you lose some money, nothing is lost. But if you lose the health, something is lost. But if you lose the character, everything is lost. But you cannot stand as a human being. Human being cannot survive only with food. It is the character, and character again, thought. Thought comes from the impression. So this way we have to go back calculation. So we are bringing all those impressions from our past birth, whether we believe it or not. It is. And that is the reason that we see that two brothers who are getting the same education, same environment, same parents, everything is same, their thinking is too different there. And naturally, because they are thinking in different way, their behavior, their actions are also different. So this is the character. Long back, because lot of experiments and was done over human being. Why? Because human being is the most best and precious. Among all the creatures that we see, human being is the best. Why? Because they can think. Because they can take decisions. That is the speciality. The long ago, Bhartruhari is a one very good thinker, we call him Rishi. And he wrote Niti Shastras and the Niti Sutra, and one he is writing, Eti Shatpurushaha Parartha Ghatakaha Swarthan Parityajya. The Supreme Person is categorizing the human being. How? Because of the behavior. What are the behavior? The best person, Supreme Person, he is doing for the sake of the others. He sacrifices their own well-being. It's very rare. Sacrificing the own well-being for the sake of the others. When I was, as Mithilesh was mentioning, I was in Andaman, Andaman, they never saw the beggars and the monks. So they were not knowing about giving the alms to anyone. So when I went to some people, the businessmen, they were asking, why you were asking money for this? Because I was developing one orphanage home, destitute boys' home. The people, they go over there to work, particularly some different companies, they take them. And after they go on a contract, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, they marry the local girls, then afterwards suddenly they will come back. So the children are left over there. So I used to collect those children and keep in one place, and we used to give them education and all that. We needed money. So we used to go to different people for collection. The gentleman was asking, why should I give money for these people? They don't belong to me. Then how to impress? I told, this is for the betterment of your own children. Because if you are not helping these boys to get proper education, then they are not going to die. They will survive somehow. And they will become dacoits, thugs, and they will come and may loot your children, and may take away all the properties, may some kill. We do not know. Then he said, is it? That may happen. Okay, I will help you. So this person is helping me because his own interest is there. So what type of category? Then here he says, Samanyastu Paratha Muddatam Brita Swartha Virodhena E Na Virodhe Swartha. When his own interest is there, it is not getting any problem, then he will help. This type of people are second grade. Common people, Samanyastu, then Te Omi Manavaha Rakshashaha Parahitam Sarthayat Nignanti E. And those others will be only for their own gain, they will create problem for the others. They can be categorized as Rakshasa. But there are some people, unnecessarily, they will be creating problem for others. Then he said, Bhartahari said, Etu gnanti nirarthakam parahitam te kena jani mahe. Te, who are these people? Me jani mahe. I do not know, I cannot understand how I shall call them. So one is the first grade of people, the great personal people, because they are sacrificing their everything for the betterment of others. We see Swami Vivekananada. He could be a great person there itself. He left everything. When he came over here, many rich people wanted to help, but they wanted him to be in their family. He said, no, it is not possible. And then the expansion, not only India, because he was born in India, it is true. But he said, do you think I am an Indian only? I belong to the humanity, thinking for everyone. So that type of people when you find, and that is why we are celebrating his 150th birth anniversary. Because of this, because of the character, and this character is supreme character, supreme human being. Second grade, they are helping, but when their own interest is also kept. Third, they create problem for others only for the fun of it, and maybe for their own interest. Whenever there is some problem, some war is going on, some people, they will hoarding, they will be keeping all things and then sell it with great value afterwards for the profit when others are suffering. So they call Rakshasa. But the fourth grade, unnecessarily killing, looting, creating problem, they don't have any name. So now we have to think what we like to be. Of course, the first grade. How? By developing character. How we can develop that character? It is character that can cleave through the adamantine walls of difficulties. Swami Vivekananda is telling, what you want is character. And we always use the word personality. Whenever we go, oh, this person has a great personality, very impressive personality, and that person is not having any personality at all. What do you mean by personality? We use this word so many times. It is a Latin word, persona. It means mask. And the mask, according to the dictionary, means anything covering whole or part of the face. That's a mask. That means personality means something we are hiding. And this personality, that according to the Latin and this explanation, etc. But writer Louis P. Thorpe and Allen, they have written a book, Personality. And there they are mentioning defining personality is difficult because the concept has been widely used. So there is no exact definition of the personality. Now, how this personality came, we know that personality. Some people, they don't have the personality, that is their personality. We think that they don't have the personality because they can't talk, or they can mix with people, but that is the speciality. That is their personality. Now, how it developed? Long back, in the Indian situation, they explained in a different way. But the Westerns, the first person who gave, he was researching and then explained, and that is Sigmund Freud. And this Sigmund Freud in 1856 to 1939, that is his period, he was a doctor, medical practitioner, and he was telling that there are three reasons are there. One is ID. ID means pleasure principles, that he termed like that. Second is the ego, the instrument of ID. There's something inside he felt that wants to do something, enjoy something, eat something, smell something, get something. So that he termed as ID. And then afterwards he's telling next is the ego, I consciousness. But he never accepted the consciousness. He said there is an ego, and we know what is ego, and this ego wants everything as an instrument it brings and satisfies the ID. Then he said there's superego, all values that is usually we teach to the children, that remains over there. But Freud also considered a life instinct that is called libido. This is very difficult, and the whole world, it became almost divided into two on these. And he said that he never believed in a soul or consciousness. He thought that sex instinct or the libido guide all actions. But that was not accepted by all. And next came the other one, that is Alfred Adler. And he said, and another gentleman came, he is Carl Jung. And he also supported, Jung also supported the first one, and then afterwards they divided. And the Carl said that there are something inside the human body, to some extent, Atman, but he never mentioned about Atman. But he was coming almost close to the Eastern thought. But we can summarize in this way, none of the three of the Westerners who were trying to explain personality talk about consciousness. They could not go beyond the mind. Now friends, here, the Indian philosophers, they observe very keenly and very correctly that we are all traveling, and traveling from instinct to intellect. When a child, he is coming running, suddenly the child saw someone unknown, instinctively it will stop over there, look at the person, turn back and run away. Not just anyone guided. Just instinct. Even an ant, when it is moving, if you are making a sound, it will try to save the life. Instinct. But from the instinct, we are traveling to intellect. We are reasoning, we are thinking, who are these people? So as I was talking about the tribal people, instinct is working. They thought that the outsider, whom we don't know, means enemy. But when, after education, after coming in contact with other people, they come in this conclusion, no, they are also just like us. And they are good people. They are coming over here to help us. And that is called reasoning intellect. And from intellectual, ethical. What is the ethical being? When I am having something, I must see that other people are also having the same thing. See how we are expanding. From unselfishness, from selfishness, we are leading to the unselfishness. So that we are slowly moving. And then finally, it is a spiritual. What is the spirituality? When we are actually accepting the divinity within everyone. So what is the personality? This we are traveling and growing and manifesting and making ourselves a spiritual person according to the Varturi of the old days. That is a supreme person. So this way only we are traveling, and that is the personality we have to grow. The character and personality. These are the two things. Character means all the best qualities that we have to acquire. If you don't have that, you cannot stand on your own feet. And what happens then? You will be a very good scientist or a doctor or an engineer. There's no problem. If you don't have the character, you can be acquiring all this type of knowledge, no problem. But you won't be considered as a person, human. There's someone, he is selling out the kidneys of the poor people who are coming in this type of countries, our countries. They are coming, they do not know, they are coming with all faith to the doctor. And the doctors, understanding that they won't understand this thing, taking out the one kidney and selling it in lakhs and having money, acquiring money, getting rich. Do you call them human being? Why? They have the knowledge. They're efficient people, but they don't have the character. Why there is no character? Because the person who is coming with the faith, thinking that he will be saving me, and instead you are cheating them. So that means that integrity is not there. That responsibility is not there. So you are not called as a man of character. So this is very, very important in the human society. Whenever there is a problem, we run to a person who is wearing a dress and we call them foolish. And we are sure that these people are there to help us. And now, if the person with the uniform, he becomes just opposite and torturing you, looting you, killing you, what will happen? You will lose your faith. When you go to the judge in the court, believing the person sitting over there on the chair, he is going to judge properly. And if he doesn't, if he bribed by someone and going against me and not giving the proper judgment, it happens everywhere. That is the lose of character. And why that person cannot do that? Because of his thinking a very short-term benefit. The first and foremost thing to develop character is the faith. And that is why in Sanskrit they say Shraddha. The Shraddha means faith. Faith in whom? On yourself. I am not going to do it. If all the people are doing this thing, let them do. I will never do it. Because I am a human being. There is a Shraddha for being, or the faith on yourself. The faith in yourself That is the first step. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. Constantly giving the self-suggestions. And that develop, as this our Mithil SJ was telling, and this is really very, very important topic to be discussed. Not that I just gave the lecture and go away. You better discuss about this and send the emails to all your fellow students. What do you think about it? About the character, about the personality? What is your opinion? Ask them to write to you people. Let them write to your study circle and discuss about it. See, out of 50, how many they are positively thinking? Because you are the people, within few years, you will be in the helms of the affairs in the society. You will have a family. You will be taking the decisions. It is very, very important. The human society depends on this character. And the character that develops the personality. When a man of character is there, there's a personality. Now, the character means all these good qualities. And the first and foremost is, in the beginning, is self-confidence. It's not ego, self-confidence. The first thing this, and second is the confidence on the words of the scriptures and the guru, they say, in our term. As a venerable person, as an honest person, whatever he has said. So that is called philosophy. If you don't have a philosophy, if you don't have an ideal, you can never have a character. As a man cannot survive without an ideal. I like to be like that. I like to do like that. One gentleman rang me and he was telling Swamiji, when I was back home, I was so good. I was so comfortable, peaceful. Everybody used to love me. I also used to go to them. Now, after coming over here, I'm all alone. There is no family members, no one to guide me. So all my friends, we do something which we should not do. I told, what is your age? He was 26. Don't worry. There's only a little bit of this type of things happen at this age. But as because he was sincerely thinking, control yourself. And how to control? Go to the holy people, listen to them, read good books, and then go on telling yourself, I must have to control myself. I should not do this. I should not do this. And leave that association where you are right this moment, because they are giving you the inspiration. So you leave that association. To develop the character means how can you help yourself? First, you have to have an ideal. So this is the personality, this is the person, these are the words, these are the teachings I am going to follow. That ideal should be there. And the best ideal is Swami Vivekananda, I am telling you. Not that I am following the Vivekananda's ideology, I am telling you. Not like that. You can also read. So many other people they say, but Vivekananda is just modern. And he is telling for the modern generation only. Understanding what will be possible for them to practice, to do. And he himself went through all this. So that is why he is very practical and at the same time spiritual. Because all the thoughts that he is giving are positive, nothing negative, everything is positive. You made a mistake, doesn't matter at all. Previously they used to say, if you have made a mistake, you are going to go to hell. He said, look at this wall, it never tells lies. Look at that, the cow, it's not going to steal. But cow remains cow all through their life. The wall remains that inert all through. But the human being is stealing, human being creating problems, human being lying. But human being, if wishes, can become God himself. So you have that. Then he said, you are the maker of your own destiny. So character, the first step to develop the character, if you think that we must have a character, we should develop the character, And at the same time, on the basis of the character personality, then you should have, I have seen some people, they are the political people, political personalities, but at the same time so genuine. How, whenever the people are approaching them, with folded hands they go. Why? Because they based their personality on spirituality. The spirituality gives that upliftment. And what is that spirituality? Two things: faith in oneself and faith in the existence of God. There is God, there is something, someone who is creating, preserving and destroying. Right this moment I cannot understand. Right this moment I cannot see. Right this moment I cannot as if believe. But let me believe, because so many other people, the great personalities, they say. So that is the faith in the words of the scripture and the Guru. Guru means the venerable person. How can you accept them? Look at their characters. See how they are behaving all through their lives. Whatever they said, they practiced. So them we can believe, otherwise not. So that way, the first thing. And second, you should have to have time management, as they call nowadays. What is the time management? Routine. I have to get up at this time, I have to do this, I have to do that. If you make a routine, you are always happy. If you don't follow the routine, then the problem comes. Someday you are happy, someday you are not. And when you are not happy, those days will be more than when you are happy. Just because of the routine. But because of the sheer practice of the routine, following the routine, I have to get up at 5 o'clock. Then I have to do this. I must have to go and sit for at least 5 minutes. Whether I like it or not, whether I can meditate or not, doesn't matter at all. Just practice. You see, you will get the strength. Even in your difficult times, there is something that you are practicing. Most of the people at the fag end of their life, you have, the students particularly, you have a goal to reach. So you are striving. So you are busy. All your being and now focused on that particular goal to reach. And when you reach over there, what you do? Now few days you try to set over there. So this thing should be with me. It is not going away. Then afterwards, nothing. And particularly after the retirement of the work, nothing. Then what happens? A few days you go here and there, and a little bit of frustration comes. And then of course some of the engagement will be, as from the India, our the elderly people whom I knew, they are coming and visiting. I told, oh, it's good, come to us. Oh, Swamiji, we are busy. Why? We have to have the baby sitting. That responsibility has come, that they are going on sitting on the bed, looking after that and all this. The two husband and wife has come, and they are every day they are counting when they will go back. They are not liking it. They have come to their daughter. Even then they are thinking, when I will go back, when I will go back. Why? Because they are not engaged. But suppose early morning you get up and then you do little puja, then little chanting, bhajan, and then japa. That is why the people, they should take initiation. The initiation means taking the mantra, diksha. I think afterwards you can talk to that Mithilesh, that he can tell you. This mantra diksha, you have to take a name of God, and with faith you have to go on repeating it and nothing else. And that will counter, it's a thought. And thought will counter your other thoughts which is creating problem. So those waves which are creating misery, pain and anxiety in your mind can be countered with this. So that is why the mantra diksha, whether you like it or not, as the Guru has said 108 times, you have to repeat the name, you go on repeating the name. And then afterwards you say, if God, if you are there, I don't know. And 90% I don't believe also, but 10% I am believing because there is some always I must take the chance. Please help me. You know who said this? Bhagavan Sri Ram Krishna. He said, you need not to believe in God. You only say this way, oh God, if you are there, help me. And believe it, you will get the help, if you are genuine. And if you are genuine, you will surely get the help. Because that is there. We cannot explain it because it is a subjective knowledge. So character and personality development, how can you do it? First, we have to have Shraddha, confidence, faith in oneself. Second, must have confidence, respect, faith, Shraddha on the words of the teachers or the guru or the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Bible, Tripitak, all these books. This is the first step. Second, you must have to make a routine using your time. You people are so busy. So obviously, each and every one from Monday to Friday, they are so busy. Right from the students or the officers too. Everyone is so busy. Of course, they say in Europe, it is not so much. It is in America only. And in Asia, no business. Because we don't have the business at all. So no business is there. No problem. But this life is very good, you know. In this life, you must learn and you must apply. And I always appreciate the way they are self-confident. I can do anything. They're not depending on anyone. Do you like to give some help? Shall I make a cup of coffee for you? No, I will prepare. So that confidence, always I will help myself. That is the best character for Vedanta. Vedanta never depends on anyone. Never complaining on God. Oh God, you have created this thing, so I am suffering. Never. Vedanta says, I am the maker of my own destiny. Whatever joy that I am enjoying, all these things that I am enjoying, because I have created. I am suffering because I did some mistake. So that is the first character, tremendous willpower. Time management. When you are going to office, just before or in the work, just before that in the morning, look at the picture of any god or goddesses. Or maybe the sunrise, a picture of a sunrise. Or you can come out and see how the sun is rising. Or whatever. Just look at that. Or maybe a candle, a burning candle. Look at that. And then say, prayer, let me be like this candle, giving the light, removing the darkness from the society, and by that way sacrificing myself. Look at that candle. It burns, it gives the light to everyone. But how? Slowly, slowly, it gives away his own personal thing. So that way you pray for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, sit quietly and meditate a little. This is the wonderful word, the meditation. And what is that meditation? Pondering over your own mind. You just try to believe that there is something inside my heart. And that way you are thinking constantly within your heart there is a light, or there is a God, or there is something on which you can concentrate. Again, for 2-3 minutes, over. Now you go and active. In between, suppose when there is a coffee break or lunch break, again you think in that way, 2-3 minutes. When in evening, when you are returning back, you open the gate of your room and say, thank you God, I am safe and I have returned back. You do not know so many people when they go out, whether they will come back or not. Accident is happening. For some reason, I am safe. So give a thanks to that personal God. Remember Him. Then after everything, when you are returning to the bed, again you think. So totally it may be 10 minutes. but you will see your personality getting a change. So this way, if you are, then you have to have the goal, and that you must have to achieve. Some goal we keep, ideology we keep, Swami Vivekananda is telling, some ideology we keep where we can never reach. And in the beginning, if we say that we are going to climb on the Mount Everest, I cannot walk a little and I am thinking that I will go to the Mount Everest, I can never fulfill. Let me practice up to this. After achieving that, up to that, up to that. This way, you have to keep some ideology where you can reach. One person, after completion of his study in, I think in chemistry or engineering, now he is thinking, no, engineering I have completed, but I am not satisfied. I will go to the medical service. So now again he has studying medical. 5 years he will do. When he is going to complete? After engineering, then the medical, then the after medical, no, I will do some PhD on history, let me try. So like that if he goes on, then when he is like, and all that knowledge is not using in the society. Whatever you have learned, use it for the society. Whatever. So naturally, afterwards they become frustrated. They know so many things. But they cannot utilize that. We had a Swami, he was triple aiming. And he knew so many things. But the difficulty was, we were afraid to listen to him. Whenever he will be giving a talk, he will always jump from this subject to that subject, that to that, and that way, and there is no conclusion. Why? Because there is no particular thing. I know only this, that much. That's all. And I know this well. So that way, what will happen if you know something very good, you are the master of one? Self-confidence. So you can tell, see, I don't know all those things, but this I know. And the moment you are having that self-confidence, you will be peaceful. Because you won't go for, oh, that man is getting so much of respect because some Rabindranath Tagore or a great poet, they have got the Nobel Prize, and immediately you also start writing poems. After 5 years, you are frustrated. These people are not understanding my poems, and the most of the poets, the difficulty is they will be asking always the friends to hear. They will be inviting them for the tea, and then he will say, now please, before the tea, let me read out a poem to you. So after 1 day, 2 days, then no one will let him. We have to understand that why I am writing. One gentleman will be sending the email, please criticize me. Why? Why should you criticize? Because at least with that way, he is writing something and you have to read that. Then he was asking me, why you people should not read? And why should I? That's true that here we are for the service, but who asked you to write in the first place? So why they are writing, they do not know. Why they are disturbing others by this way, they do not know. There's some of the people, they write books and they'll go on here and they are selling it. So difficulty. So naturally, unless and until you are sure that I am going to do this and no further, you are satisfied. So satisfaction is necessary. Otherwise, it's a disturbed personality. So please remember it. Please remember, because otherwise we are all the time facing, so many people come to us, they open their mind, and regularly we are facing this type of difficulties. You will wonder, when one person wrote, I wanted to marry a lady, but you people giving the teaching to everyone, don't marry, that's why that lady is not married. Whom we said not to marry? Only some of the young boys who come with I try to tell them, see, if you don't marry, you can become a monk. But majority of them, they don't never listen to us. But who likes to become a monk, they come of their own. Because of the impressions. What is the impression? Past birth. Now this fellow, as because that lady may be visiting our ashram, we don't know now, and he is thinking because of our this type of teaching, we never teach like this in public at least, because it is all, you have to take your own decision. We should not say like this. This is your own personal life. Now he is going on writing to us and so much of this. So this way, so why? He is a very good person. And he is married, he is having the children, now the wife has died, now this is, and he is a scientist. He is a good, very good person, earning a lot of money. He has a very good position also. But if you look at his personality, what happens? You really feel pity for him. With all these things, he is having nothing. So that is the reason, my young friends, this is a formative time. So have these two things in your mind. You have to develop character, and then you have to build personality. And the pleasing personality, what is that pleasing personality? That is understanding others and behaving accordingly. So you cannot behave with everyone in the same way. You have to learn that. And that is why it is very good when you are living in the dorms, in the hostels. So many varieties of people are there, and among them you are growing up, so you know how to adjust, and slowly, slowly you can understand different type of psychologies, mentalities, and you are very good with each and every one of them. But remember one thing, I will quote in Hindi couplet, Haji Haji karte rahiyo, baitha apna tham. That means you have taken a decision that I am going to do like this, but when others are telling, coming, arguing, discussing, oh yes, you were almost correct, but I think there are some other options are also there. Like that, if you are going on telling, but your own decision you have to go on keeping. And that way, it's a pleasing personality, so all will be happy with you. And not only this, when someone is coming and telling you something, you should not discuss that with others. That you must have to keep within yourself. And it's so difficult. If you hear something, some news, particularly some gossip, to digest that completely is so difficult. Because you have to know that I am not going to harm that person. He is right this moment, he is talking like this, but he is a good person. Why should I harm? You should not. Because you like him or her, I like to protect. So that is the personality. So the personality, when you are growing, that you must be able to mix with all. You must have the capacity to listen different type of opinions, and from that you must take your own decision, stick to that decision, and you must always think how to help myself, at the same time the society, for the betterment of the society. So from that instinct we are going to the intellect, and from the intellect to the ethical, and from the ethical to the spiritual. These are the 4 steps. Now you have already crossed that instinct. Now your intellectual level. So you are all the time thinking and accepting after the judgment. So you are all in that level. At the same time, greatly ethical level too. Otherwise, why you have started this study circle? Is it not necessary? And all these boys who are studying so hard, why they are again studying Vivekananada books also? Because they have understood, apart from the intellectual, we need something inside also, that's called ethical. And when that ethical things comes in the life, you need not to bother about any teaching, you live in that ethical life, you are spiritual. The spirituality is that. Every time you have to understand why I am living. My lifespan is short. I do not know how long I am going to live. But as long as I am surviving, I am living, I must live in such a way so that I become happy, as he was quoting, be and make. That's the great word of Swami Vivekanananda. The be and make. I must be happy myself. I am going on giving instructions to others, but not following myself, then that won't help. So be means you have to be like that. Naturally, automatically, you need not to have that mask. Your personality will be totally open. And you know, if I go to that person, he's not going to cheat me, he's going to teach me. So that way, when all people will start thinking about yourself, you have developed your character and your personality. So in brief, these are the things, but you must, so it is 7 o'clock over, 9. So I think, any time is there?
We can have some questions.
Some question answer, if you like to ask questions? Okay. Yeah.
One point which I think is you think is an essential part of the building character or personality is fear. People do get involved with fear and then they move away from building character.
Oh yeah, fear. So fear for different reasons may be there. Character and the personality are totally two different things. I mean, from the fear. Because I am taking the decision that I am going to do like this. Why should I be afraid? And sometimes in some political or the social reason, we have to hide ourselves, keeping ourselves low. We cannot do all those things because, as he is very correctly telling, out of fear. But that is for a very temporal time. When there is another mass frenzy, they do not understand you, all people are coming and killing you. So that type of things happen. So particularly those who are coming from the Asian countries, but India, Pakistan, someone has done something wrong. The American people don't understand because we look all same. So naturally they will think that this. So that time you have to, maybe that you have to keep that personality a little low. But at the same time, people are also understanding, they understand this. I was traveling with this dress, so many people they came. One young girl, she came and told, "Oh, I like your cap." But then I told, "But I cannot share it with you. So to get this cap, you have to be with me for 10 years. And then only I can give you the sannyasa." Then you see, it's so difficult to get a cap for 10 years you have to wait. She didn't understand, but so like this, there are some friendly things happen. The one young Muslim lady, she came and she was asking me, "So why you were wearing like this? What is Hinduism? This. She told, "I am so interested to know about Hinduism, but there is no one to teach me." I was from Atlanta, I was coming back to Chicago. Suddenly I found a well-built person with a big mustache. He was coming and standing by her side. Then she told, "Papa, you can go and see it." I don't understood. The Papa is not believing me. So whatever may be, because of the impression. So that fear means totally different things, but it is for the small timing. But if you have a character and you have complete faith, you have developed that personality, people will understand you surely. Okay. Any other questions? Any questions from the students? You regularly read Swami Vivekananda's books?
Me?
Huh? Once in a week you are coming and meeting, is it?
So I just heard about the club maybe a couple of weeks ago. Recently I've been reading into there's a book called Dancing with Shiva.
Acha.
There's a lot of information about Hinduism and that. I've also been
The Shiva is a...
yes, I've also been looking into the Vedas and Upanishads on my own. The reason why I decided to join the club was I don't have a lot of structure into how I should approach all the information. So I
Right.
feel that this organization will help me with that.
Right. So I will tell you the Veda is a huge, you cannot complete. But the Veda means the mass of knowledge, of different type of knowledge. Of that, high spiritual knowledge is Upanishad. The term is Upanishad. And of all the Upanishads, there are 108 Upanishads which has been discovered. 11 are very important. But all the Upanishads are telling only one thing, that Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. So if you know that, that is over. Then afterwards, this world that we see is illusory, is all passing. Then one thing is permanent, that is Atman, which is that within ourselves. And sometimes we make mistake by thinking our mind is the Atman. Then Western philosophy, that mainly they talk about the mind, not beyond the mind. So that is Atman, the consciousness. So if you think in that way, within a short period you can understand the Veda and the Vedanta or the Upanishad. Anta means the end. Veda means knowledge, end of knowledge. That means self-knowledge. So that's very good. Then at the Seva and practicing those things, that's also very good. But at the same time, as I was telling, you have to practice yourself too. So that way, a character should be there. So ideology and practice. Thank you. Thank you very much.